All right, when I give him the three claps, then I'm gonna go in and give an intro, and we gonna talk.
Show the red
Show
bottom.
the red bottom. All right, you ready? All right, that's how I get my voice right. Hey, welcome back to a new episode of Family Business. Today, your host Rome the Ruler, my wife Cassandra, and I got my big brother Ray.
The secret brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My long lost brother. He done came out to visit. So I said, come chop it up with your little brother like we do on the phone all the time. So we about to have fun. On today's episode, we're gonna get into the topics about the red pill, right? I know a lot of y'all familiar with the red pill, manosphere, and all that stuff in the podcast and everything that came out of that. So we want to deep dive into it. Talk a little bit about our experience with it. And I think one of the main questions is, was that red pill movement, the rise of the red pill, was it good or was it bad?
Yeah, we don't know.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we gonna explore it. So
yeah, for sure.
Let's just start off with this. Wife, how was your day?
I had a long day.
Yeah, yeah, because she had to work.
Yeah, I had to work.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's laughing, but it's not very gentlemanlike of you.
I cut the grass today.
Okay.
I cut the grass.
Congratulations.
And I watched G.I. Joe. And I was chilling. I got the podcast stuff ready and everything like that. Brother Ray, how was the drive, man?
Drive was great, actually.
It was good, man.
Rode the ferry on down from
How was
Cape
it?
May to lose.
How was it? Because we never do the ferry.
You never did it, but I'm doing it next time for sure.
Yeah.
It's all right. Once you get your sea legs or your bay legs, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all got something to eat on the ferry and all that stuff?
No, we ain't want none of that. All that was out the microwave, bro.
Oh, okay.
Everything
it was like that quick food.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we gonna try it next time we come on.
Yeah, see what it all brings.
Yeah. No, we definitely gonna try it. But now let's get into the fun. All right. So the red pill. For people who don't understand what the red pill or the manosphere is, so the red pill is like, the term come from the Matrix movie, where you take the either blue pill to stay asleep or the red pill to understand the dark secrets of the world and wake up, right? Become privy to stuff. So the red pill movement started with a couple with like podcasts and all these people that was like giving game to guys, right? About the secrets to masculinity and how women think and how you should act as a man and all this stuff. And I give you my experience. What it was first. Well, first of all,
he had a little bit of a red pill awakening at one point. Rome, I would say, was very red pilled.
I would say so. Thinking, I would say so.
Was watching the videos all the time and was like, look at this and look what they said. And, he's very trusting of my opinion and all that. So he wanted to show me what he learned. And, we look at it a little bit different. I mean, I look at it a little bit different now. Initially, a lot of women's has a reservation towards the red pill man because how aggressive they seem and how like far right their thinking is about women and what a man should be and the roles of a man and a woman and stuff like that. So, it was a little bit reservation, and then me being who I am, I allow that platform for many people to give that input so that I can absorb on my own, what I would take from it that's positive, what I would take from it that's negative.
So when she say that I was red pilled, I was look. Kevin Samuels had all the funny clips out, and I went down a rabbit hole of like watching Uncle Kev, rest in peace, cause Uncle Kev was spitting. Like, you know what I'm saying? You remember when Kevin Samuels was out?
Yeah.
Kevin Samuels was spitting. So when I went down that rabbit hole, it was just finally somebody who was saying the stuff that I say. I'm like, yo, that's what I'm saying, and I'm and I think that it was bringing some light to men. You know what I mean? And to have them tough conversations or whatever. And uh, but what happened was it kind of went like everybody start trying to do it, right? So Kevin Samuels was giving a message of like, hey, look, you need to, be a man, build yourself up, care about how you dress, how you smell, and um, then he started to go back and forth with women. They call into the show, and he was also holding the women accountable. All right, how many kids you got? 5. Okay, you said a man got to make how much money? They on there 300,000, and Kevin Samuels was telling them like, look, you need to chill out. You ain't getting all that. So it was fun to watch, and it was like kind of eye opening to be like, somebody saying what you're saying. Again, we had some people that was giving good game on it, but it got to the point now where you got like the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Yeah.
And them guys went completely extreme. Because me and you used to sit down and actually watch the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Yeah.
We would just watch. It was entertaining for a bit, but it got annoying because it wasn't
real quick. Like it got annoying.
It got annoying very quick. We're like it's the messenger. Like we like y'all are not alpha males, but y'all trying to give game on alpha shit, and then you're arguing with people with women on here that it's giving a false sense of how men and women act towards each other because you have girls who are literally OnlyFans models and corn stars coming onto this podcast. You got to throw the corn in there, right? YouTube ain't y'all bucket. So they coming on here arguing with y'all about men and women. I'm like, those women are not like everybody else.
Right.
So go ahead, give me your take on where the red pill is at now and like what you think.
So the red pill thing, I think that there's always a truth to some sort of information that's being put out there. And I think what that movement did, the manosphere, the red pill and stuff like that, was shine light on men, right? Because men are like the whole they have to deserve, and women are born with privilege, and like certain things like that. I kind of little agree on a little bit, right?
Or to put it to explain what you're saying, that women are born with value, and men have to earn their value.
Correct.
Yes.
So I do agree with some of it. So there's some truth to it, but it's just the way that that message is conveyed and who is absorbing that message, right? So when they're selling this, right, because what they essentially did was monetize off of a lack of, right? So in society right now, there's a lack of masculinity in men, right? And true femininity in women, right? Because we have we see that more of our women are becoming more masculine, or adopting masculine tendencies, attributes, right? So what they did was sell this package as something that was tangible to men who honestly had probably suffered something, some traumatic things growing up, either um some issues with mother issues, because men have mother issues just like women have daddy issues, or men who were hurt by women, either because they were classified as
Drop
beta.
that thing. Who hurt you?
You got those men who are not actual alpha leaders, and selling this message to men, saying that you can be this by with a how-to guide, right? So it's like, hey, you have to make X amount of money, you have to be um in a certain social circle, that sort of thing. And the truth is, you can't buy that and you can't fake that.
There you
So
go.
when you go ahead and you tell somebody they can be something they're not, because in reality, we just need to really harness who we are, and the strengths that we have and we bring to the table. And in real life, not everybody's important and not everybody is intriguing.
No, that's true.
Right?
And I like you said it because it's a fact. Like there's men in the world who were always the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just got that it factor of whether it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be the high school, jock and football team, the basketball player. Like you can't try to teach somebody how to be that person,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that I'm that guy naturally, but
It's hard, right?
it's
It's hard wearing that
it,
tram, right? Yeah,
but
man,
it's
my bad.
it's fact. But when with the red pill thing is it went extreme, and they
It's
try to
sold as.
tell everybody this is this is the absolute end all
Mm-hmm.
be all. Like you have to be the top 10%
Mm-hmm.
guy,
Yep.
or you will never, you'll never, get a girlfriend.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, you should have to be. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but it gave people doom and gloom. Like there was no hope,
Mm-hmm.
right? To For me, like as a mentor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell each one of my mentees the same thing
Mm-hmm.
because I gotta go to your strengths and weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
you can't be like, all right, this is how I got it. You need to do this,
Mm-hmm.
right? You ain't never run as fast as I can, so I can't tell that man. All right, first of all, you got to get a track scholarship. Then you got to get
Yeah.
that. I got to look at him like, all right, you're real good at math. Let's go ahead and find how
Mm-hmm.
we can use
Use
that
you, yeah,
ability
yeah.
to
Use your
become
strengths.
a
Absolutely.
mathematician,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But with these red pillars, a lot of times, again, they went to the extreme, and it's like, all right, you have to become the
Mm-hmm.
top 10% or top 1% in all these categories.
Mm-hmm.
Women want a guy that's 6'5". I can't teach you how to be 6'5",
Yeah, exactly. You
right?
can't
So
grow
yeah.
5 inches,
So
10 inches,
so for the
and
dude that's 5'8",
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I need to show him like, look, man, your dress game better be on point, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta there's other ways, man. Let's
Mm-hmm.
get you make sure you smelling right. Present
Mm-hmm.
yourself in a good way. And don't go for,
Mm-hmm.
these extreme women.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You
Yeah.
gotta know your audience when it come to do these things. But
Mhm.
um yeah, I think that the red pill, a lot of the stuff like the Kevin Samuels and even the Andrew Tates and people, we go deeper into the Tates, right? But a lot of the stuff helped
Mm-hmm.
men build confidence,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So I can at least give it that. Like it was encouraging men to get your money right,
To better
to better
themselves.
yourself,
Yes.
get in the gym, eat right, learn how to speak well,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and
Become
things like that. Yeah,
disciplined.
like get that
Yeah.
discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, the manosphere, it did help. But the problem is the
Mm-hmm.
extremism.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm. I agree to a sense. Like I said, there is some value to that period, if that makes sense.
mhm.
Because there is some truth to what they were preaching, right? Essentially, but like I said, they tried to monetize, and they're monetizing off of the weak, um, the weak man. Honestly, the
Mhm.
man who can't get no girls, the one who um don't got no muscles, and and like they try to make it tangible to people, and sell it that way, right? So then that's when they came up with this: you got to make a certain amount of six figures to be considered, or whatever type of money with zeros to be an alpha male, you know but they didn't say, other than the financial aspect of it, they didn't really go into what it meant to be a true competent man, right?
Mhm.
And that's like a man who is healthy, right? A man who is disciplined.
Well, we well
You
we
know.
did well, again. They did talk about
Mhm.
being in shape and
Mhm.
all that stuff. So that was covered in
Mhm.
in, in a lot of
Mhm.
the talks,
Mhm.
right? So I
But
won't
it
say that.
wasn't, yeah, but it wasn't essentially highlighted. So the what was really sold was the financial aspect of it. And it's like, yeah,
Well,
work
that
out and stuff
depends.
like
I
that.
think that depends. You got to think that depends on which influencer you're talking about.
Okay.
Because if you're talking about,
It's
again, we
subjective.
go, yeah, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Because if you talk about the Andrew Tates and stuff, it was
Yeah.
like, yo, you need to be in the gym. You need to learn how to
Mhm.
fight, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like it
Mhm.
was promoting that. Like
Mhm.
stop being out here, taking drugs and stuff.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that was promoted pretty heavy. I think the toxic part again, it became when the toxic extremes of like for example, one guy Rolo Tomasi was like, as a man in his 20s, you should get a vasectomy and never get married and all this. I'm
Was
like
he
dude,
Eastern
what?
European?
Yes,
Of the Caucasus Mountains?
yes, he is from those mountains. Yes, 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 he is.
Yeah.
But he's telling young men to do that, and it's like what? Like now you're getting extreme. He's saying you should have at least and I'm quoting it, 50. You should have at least 50 sexual partners before you even attempt to get a girlfriend and all this stuff. And like that's when it was like, whoa, dude,
That's too
like
much.
you're doing the most, man. Like now you're gonna have these young boys out here thinking I'm just saying it is, but it's an extreme though.
It is not.
It's not, bro. I'm sorry, because
No, you
apologies.
good.
You're fine. Go
Thank you
ahead.
for having me, but
Go ahead.
I feel as a young boy, even depending on whatever way you growing up, as a young man, as you grow into your adulthood, it's going to come a time where you're going to want to spread. Just want to do you.
No, absolutely, and I get what she's saying too. Where you got that dog,
you mature also as you mature emotionally too. I know you hate that word. I hate that fucking word.
Which
too.
one?
Emotionally, yeah. But it's fucking real.
No.
Like anger, like happy, like sad. It's real. So the reality of it is, it's a certain duality from the male to the female. So with that duality, you understand we gonna have that dog in us, and the female is not.
And I like
so
that you
to go
brought
through
that up.
that as a man, you'll understand different people, different women, different things, and then when you meet somebody, you understand that it's averse to somebody that may have only dealt with 2 or 3 people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where that's that
No, absolutely.
So that's that 50. A man should have 50.
But a man shouldn't really have 50. Like,
so
but it's easy.
in a
Sometimes.
sense.
If we don't get
Depending on
caught up
what
in a number,
Yeah.
but if you pay attention to it now, if it was, and that's why I think the number was bad. But if you're saying like as a man, you should experience the world before you get married, 100%. But I'm not gonna go in and turn it into the whole phase thing. Yeah. Because if you tell, because there's double standards.
You have to just be careful what you say because people go by absolutes, right?
That's why I said
so
when you give the
like,
numbers, it's like 50. You got dudes that was so caught up in extremism, they're trying to get 50.
Yeah.
Like an exact where I'm like, dude, that could be 2.
Yeah.
Right?
When he's just talking about experience, which is very different than, 50. The number, like there's people that are so I mean, even at my job, people are just so like literal about things, and it's just like, he's just talking about the human experience, right? The man experience. I can't speak for the man. I think it's very different for a woman, right? I don't think she need that type of
No,
phase,
the women don't need to go through that whole phase.
I don't agree with that.
Women do not need to go through that whole
women don't need that type of experience, right? So, and it's more acceptable for men, right? A woman is more likely to be like, all right, I understand that a man had that phase, versus if a man find out that a woman had that phase, and it's just a whole nother, a whole nother subject right there. But you just have to be careful because the audience, who they're preaching to, like you guys have very different human experiences. The message is being communicated to a different different subset,
different
right?
way,
a different subset of human, right? So there's men that there's men. So what I really want to say is there is the perception of you, right? The reality of who you are, right? And then you have that perception of the ideal version of you, right? And depending on who you are, you may work on becoming the ideal version of you, but sometimes that ideal version of you is so delusional, right? So that delusion of a man that is created with the red pill is what is making it toxic.
I think it's coming back, Cassandra. I think the strong black father figure. I think the uncle, what's his name? What was Bill Cosby's role in that movie, in the show he had, the Huxtables? I think that's coming back. I really feel like there's a lot more of us, bro, that's out doing what we had to do as men, just to provide that structure and that strength and that X chromosome factor and that male part of it that A lot of these kids now, whether male or female, these kids are growing up seeing that whole structure. They're reading the news. They're hearing the news. I'm telling my kids, you know what I mean? That ain't Jesus. That's white Jesus. Real shit. You know what I mean? So I think we're coming back. We're setting our standard, and I think the newer generation, the next 20 years, is going to be a lot. They're going to have that understanding.
That's called right now. They call it the Renaissance era. It's a new. If you listen to like the 19 kids and them talking, they call it a Renaissance because there is an awakening amongst men right now. But it started with something.
Because it's a gap though. It's a gap though, bro. Because I know y'all talked about it. You definitely spoke about it before. There's a gap now where it wasn't a black male. There wasn't a strong male figure. You know, but we back. So
no, we definitely are. But that's why you get people.
It is a gap.
It's a gap there. Yeah. But now you get voices like myself, right? That's coming out and be like, you know what? I'm gonna be that masculine figure, right? And I could speak on the behalf from on the behalf of somebody who went through something or you know has that life experience. But like you said, it was a gap there where we didn't have all that. But now we got strong fathers and stuff that be like, look, me and my brother right here married with kids and can have this, you know what I mean, working people that can have this conversation. But, you know, for a minute, it was just straight up everything was portrayed as thug society or you know, or whatever.
See, only because I'm done after this. Only because
no, absolutely.
This is a family experience, and y'all talking about husband and wife situation. So with that comes children. So I'm thinking how the kids going to be off of everything y'all talking about. So the only thing I have in my mind next is the children. So what y'all doing is coming together. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Everything's going to change. Like you said, it's the Renaissance era.
No, it is. You know that Renaissance is different. Like because now back to the red pill, right? The red pill era is pretty much gone. I would say, like that. There was a movement where for this time, for maybe 2-3 years, that's all that was in. That was all was going on.
Yeah, that was all.
Everybody was wrapped up in the Andrew Tates and the Fresh and Fit and you name it. The thing go on, and people took what they could from it. There was some good and some bad, but at the end of the day, it became a division between men and women. Right?
Yeah. So back to what your brother was saying and what you're trying to talk about, I think it's very important in an instance like this because this is information that's being fed to a lot of the younger generations, and the younger generation, your kids fall in the younger generations, right? You have a daughter, you have a son, you know what I'm saying? The influence of that. So it's important to have somebody who can take information and pick the good and the bad from it, right? And be able that, like you say, you teach what you put out, your kids are seeing and they're teaching. Like, how do you teach your because there's good and bad in everything, right? And there's truths to rumors and all that stuff. So having somebody be able to say, hey, this is what being sold, this is what people are saying, this is how they're doing it wrong. But with that being said, like you said, the red pill thing, like we don't 100%, I don't 100% agree with it. You probably have adapted your thinking a little bit around it and stuff like that. There was some good to it, which was it gave men a sense of confidence. It shined light in almost like a need for men to be men to be confident, to grow into the masculinity, because that's something that right now, like in the dating world, like we're all married and stuff like that. There, I hear both sides. Men say the women aren't good, and women say the men aren't good. The men aren't men nowadays when they're dating. There's a lot of people who struggle to find good men, or masculine men. So that's from other people that are dating, and I see it too when I'm in society and stuff. I walk around. I know very few men, like men, like a real man, a masculine man, right? And I'm surrounded by men everywhere I walk. And you telling me I can only pick out a couple of masculine men? that's a problem. And vice versa. I'm around women and I can only pick a handful full of wives. You know what I'm saying? Right? So there is a lacking on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And like you mentioned, it created a divide at the same time, right? The social media aspect of the red pill created that divide because it was sold to men who, like I said, came with um, already bad experiences with women and almost created a hatred for the woman. And what it does, because the man and the woman are yin and yang, right?
Can't have one without the other.
You can't have one without the other. One does not exist. Like you as a man do not perform as a man for another man. You do it for the woman's attention, for the woman's approval, and vice versa. The woman does it for the man's validation, for the man. So, with that being said, it wedged because what it did was shy women away from that guy that even remotely identified with masculinity because it was attached to the red pill, because it was attached to the toxic masculinity. So it really broke up the yin and yang,
And
the yokeness, right?
That's my problem with the overall is that we, in order for society as a whole to be better, we need to have family. You know, we need to build the businesses of family, right? So we need the mom and the dad to have kids, to teach the values, their religions, everything to that kid, right? And be strong as a family unit. We can't look at everything like men versus women. And all right, look, she's going to try to trick you, so you need to make sure you on your game, right? If men just act like men, women will act like women.
Listen, bro, not to cut you off. I'm laughing because I would like a Ray to be at a point when she's like 15, 16, 17, 40, 50 years old, right? If her car breaks down and that nigga can't change the tire, I want her to allow him to change the tire, fuck up, tear it up, and her to say, okay, hold on, I'll do it, and go do it herself. I want her to have the wherewithal to know that, nigga, you ain't a man, for one. I'd have called my dad. And for two, my dad taught me how to do it. And for three, nigga, you ain't getting back in this car at the end of this night. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I laugh.
But to like you said, if we had the nuclear family, right? Like the fact that she even has a dad to call. If she bring home a dude when she's 16, if he ain't meeting the standards of her father, she ain't gonna even give that dude the time of day. You know what I'm saying?
Pardon me for a second.
Yeah, you got it. But yeah, if she's not if the women need somebody who can vet their boyfriends and do all that stuff, you know, and that comes from the father, from the brothers in the house, and all that stuff. And what they're preaching on here is the opposite of that. It's like you just need to know.
Wedge.
Yeah, it's
that wedge,
it's blocking
right?
everybody from
Because, like I said, it's creating that hatred towards women, or kind of resentment towards women. And like, how can you create an emotional bond with someone you hate, or someone you feel like has already did you wrong before they did you wrong? You can't, right? Because you already have that planted seed of negativity in the back of your mind, thinking that that person is already coming with intentions that are malintended, with the sense of abandonment, because they're basically saying women are hypergamous. No matter what you do, who you are, they're going to leave you for the next best thing, which to an extent, yes, women need that sense of security and protection, financially, emotionally, physically, right? So that they should go for what they feel like is going to make them feel secure in their life, right? um Not necessarily a bad thing, but if every day I went to work and you thought that I was going to leave you for the next person that walks in, your how you act towards me is going to be very different.
All right, so we were talking about hypergamy.
Right.
All right. So one of the main talking points in the by the red pill community is that um, women are hypergamous. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't Well, I don't necessarily disagree, right? Because I think that um because of the woman nature and the vulnerability of women, they should be seeking the strongest man, the smartest man, the man with that can financially support them and their children and so forth and so on, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing that a woman is trying to secure herself in those type of ways, right? But when the red pill people or the platform is selling that hypergamy is woman nature through and through, no matter what, even when she finds a good man or a husband, that she's always going to go for whatever best is up, then that's where the problem is, because then they're selling this thing that women are going to leave them, women are evil. You have this unconscious sense of hatred towards women because you're constantly being fed this negativity that women are have like an underlying intention
But do
at
they?
the end of the day.
Because women are hypergamous. Like, and for those who don't understand,
Hmm. Hmm.
women are always
Hmm.
constantly trying to. Well, they will go for the best option,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So it's that's true.
But
You
is
know,
that a bad thing?
no,
Because at the end of the
it's not a
day,
bad thing.
right?
But it can be a bad thing if you go for. That's why the term gold digger is such a
Hmm.
um such a big term,
Hmm.
because there's some women who were willing to do whatever just because a person has a dollar amount,
Hmm.
right? And they will, you'll see girls leave their husband and take everything, and they'd
Hmm.
be like, "Why?" Like, "Well, I just got bored."
Hmm.
Like, that's the thing. Or I don't. I really just not in love with him no
But
more. He
that's
didn't do
not every
anything.
woman. Every man should that's dating someone or is married should not see their wife in that way,
No,
right?
absolutely. But
So
you got to know
you
what type of. You still
you got to know the
have
woman
to
you're
know the
with.
type of woman.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We can't play the as a man, you can't play the victim and be dumb because you think that to a gold digger, right? You know the woman that you for the most part who you're dealing with, right? Um unless you're completely just not smart. So you know what a gold digger looks like, how she where you met her. Like where did you meet her? Um what has she done? Because like we had this little game, red flags and stuff like that. They don't just appear out of nowhere, like human patterns exist. You can tell when someone's intentions are malintent. Like for a man to say completely, I didn't know that she was a gold digger, I didn't know she was gonna leave me, or I gave her everything and she left me. Like, no, there were signs.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can't play victim here on either part, right? Because there is a sense of accountability. If you are in the club and you have a section and you meet that girl at that section, what do you think?
Yeah, she only came to your section because
Yeah.
you got a section in the first place, and that's what
Yeah.
she does. Yeah,
That's what she
absolutely.
does, right?
And so that's where
Mhm.
the understanding comes from,
Mhm.
because I mean, part of the teaching part comes in
Mhm.
is that women are indeed hypergamous, right?
Okay.
However, it's a there's a good reason for it,
Mhm.
and there's a way that it could be used is evil nature, really, because again, if you come as a like that type of male who's like strong, confident, you
Mhm.
provide, you
Mhm.
protect,
Mhm.
and all that stuff,
Right.
you will very seldom get left
Mhm.
and just her get up and be like, I'm not
Mhm.
not happy anymore. But the way the images is told is that they do that to everybody,
Yeah, and
and that's not true.
that's the bad part.
If you come
Mhm.
with that um if you come with that masculinity,
Mhm.
and you are a man, you can do these things. Your wife isn't just going to be like, I'm bored of you,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
But again, the red pill
Mhm.
at times make it seem like it just happens to everybody. No, it
Yeah.
happens to the people out there chasing the women who were already had a reputation
Mhm.
for doing certain things, right? Like you said, if you met her and she already, you knew she was wilding, right? She was cheating on her
Stop going to
men.
Miami to meet your wife.
Yeah, please don't.
Why y'all on them
Mhm.
yachts?
If your
Why y'all
girl,
getting those
if you meet a
Colombian
girl
girls
and
like
she used to, she was on Fresh and Fit one time,
Mhm.
then yeah, don't wife her up. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense because she's the type of girl that's when she leave your ass, she gonna leave with half.
Kanye said it best.
That's what Kanye said. You know, you can pick out the gold diggers. You know, so yeah, it's in the woman's nature to be hypergamous, but you gotta be the dog, right?
Exactly.
You gotta be that alpha. Now, you know, another thing. This is the man's nature that they talk about here, and this is one of them conversations that get tricky, right? They say if you're with an alpha male and that person is rich, right, and he provides everything, then he's allowed to have multiple wives and cheat and do all that stuff. That's the other thing that's preached on the red pill. Look at your face.
Yeah, look at my face.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it. I'm saying that's the red pill thing. So
right. So
that's considered
you're talking. I mean, again, it goes back to knowing who you meet, right? So if I'm at the grocery store or I go to the club and I'm happy to meet somebody famous, right? And I think I'm gonna be the one that woes them and settle down. They're gonna settle down for. It's kind of tricky to say that. Honestly, you're not. I don't want to. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You're not. You're not that.
If you get with the Chris Browns of the world, Chris Brown is going to have multiple women. Like it's just he's not going to be like I just want to sit down and praise the Lord. Chris Brown is going to be out here. That is most men. Most men cheat.
Let me say it. Let me say it easier for the women. You're not that special.
That is
right?
His nature.
That's what it is, right?
Dog in
There's no reason. Like honestly, it's hard for me to say, but realistically, like to expect that from somebody who already has a certain status of that sort, right? And that type of exposure and um
they're the top percent of they're the top percent.
yeah.
Right? And it is and this is just being honest and a lot of people don't want to accept it, but men, that is their nature, is to go out and to spread and just do whatever. When men don't cheat, it's because they choose not to cheat. Like they either not capable of it or they're saying, I want my family over this is more important, right? And
it's
I
the
think
discipline
it's a
of
discipline.
it.
And that's very masculine. Because like I always say, what I can't stand and I can't trust is a thirsty man.
Right.
Because I can't trust you to control yourself around anybody. If you lust that hard that you gotta slide in everybody DMs and you become the creepy guy that's like, dang man, you trying to talk to everybody? That type of person is untrustworthy.
Right.
Because they have no self-discipline.
Yeah.
So again, we go to the Chris Browns and the LeBron James or these people.
But that's an extreme. You got to think about it. Chris Brown is an extreme version of what of a man that's dating, right? Versus the normal man. Now, the normal man, like it's unacceptable for you to be still at a certain point, still cheating, still lacking discipline, still going after the opportunity of being able with to be able with to be in a relationship with somebody else.
But
multiple people.
But if we go to simply when they say the nature of a woman is naturally hypergamous, then it is a nature of a man to be naturally want to go and be a dog, right? That's the nature. But the same way as to find a good like mate for marriage and stuff, you need to find somebody who's like, all right, I'm with you, right? Like I'm not about to leave you because somebody make $10,000 more than you, right? I'm not going to leave you because I'm not going to just cheat on you because I seen a fat ass walk past me, right? So that's what, and this is tying it back to the red pill and stuff. They're not teaching what's wise, right? So we got to understand the nature and not make it a me versus you thing, but all right, I want a family, you want a family, let's be here. How do we make it work? So what.
It's also not. Yeah, it's also not because we talk about accountability a lot. It's also not an excuse to do what you do at the end of the day. Like to say that a woman should always be seeking the next best, strongest, fittest, richest person, and vice versa, because it's man nature that he should be out here excused to be doing tomfoolery. You get what I'm saying? There is no excuse for that, because at the end of the day, discipline should play a part in both roles. So once you have achieved what you have sought out for, discipline yourself enough to be like, now let's move on to the next step.
Yeah, and
right?
because
Let's not be savages
because
anymore, right?
with
Because it's
us being
savagery at the end of the day if you continue to do what you
no,
do.
absolutely, and
Yeah.
because of us being
Mhm.
a civilized, a civilized animal nowadays,
Mhm.
we can't just say live like you naturally want to.
Yeah.
Don't suppress your urges.
We're
If
not
not,
hunter
we're
gatherers
not.
anymore.
So we need to
Yeah.
understand. All right, that's that's a primal instinct that we need to.
Mhm.
You need to be able to be disciplined enough
You're
to have
domesticated
that,
now.
because if
Like,
not,
yeah.
there's STDs, there's things that you don't want to bring home to your family, to your
Mhm.
wife,
Mhm.
to yourself. So it's smarter to navigate
Mhm.
as a man who can
Mhm.
apply self control, and especially as a
Mhm.
woman,
And it's
right?
actually more attractive as a woman to be like, my man is disciplined enough to choose, whatever XYZ consistently. Like that's like, yeah, like initially a woman might go for the bad boy or the one that, like, women like men that other
They
women want,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Naturally, right? But that's not to say that you be a homewrecker and only go for that,
No,
and that's, yeah.
women want the dude that's
Hmm.
capable
Hmm.
of cheating but doesn't cheat, or capable
Hmm.
of or other women want
They
but
just
can't
want a
have.
disciplined man.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
man
most
that's
of them.
gonna be like, even if I could, I don't want to. That's all they want at the
And
end of the day.
the
Hmm.
dude just want a girl to be like, love me for me. All right, these y'all, because the girls, y'all gotta stop thotting. Because thotting is a problem in our culture. It's real. I mean, in our society. I won't even say our culture because it's not even in the society right now. It's crazy. It's
Hmm.
more girls with OnlyFans than goddamn college degrees right now. I feel like, but
It's some girls with college degrees that got
yeah,
OnlyFans. Cause I was talking about
they
that one
quitting
girl.
school.
Hmm.
So the red pill overall was, I think that it had some good and it had some bad.
Hmm.
Now let's talk about some of y'all that I don't like. Right, Myron from Fresh and Fit. You're
Hmm.
annoying, dude. Like, you just sit here and argue with these girls on here, and you know that they bimbos when you bring these stupid girls on here that strippers in Miami, and then
Hmm.
you ask them questions like, "All right, name me 5 countries." For what?
Yeah.
And then you get the kicking them off and going back and forth with these drunk
It's
females.
given feminine when you sit
He
there and
looks like a
argue with
weak man,
girls. Yeah.
and that's the
Yeah.
problem, is the
Hmm.
messengers, like people like that. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
Hmm.
he's corny, and
Right.
for the young guys who listen to him and really take what he says
Hmm.
is word. That's not the alpha male you need to look up to. Just to be honest with you, a person like that. So distinguishing between a real man
Hmm.
and a little punk on YouTube that just be talking like that,
Hmm.
it's not real, man.
Yeah.
It's not real. So come follow this so we can
Hmm.
talk about real masculinity and
Hmm.
real life, right?
Hmm.
But the moral of the story is, if a man act like a man and a woman act like a woman,
He's stupid.
that is real. It ain't really gotta be that much
Yeah.
like words to put on it. Like, just you know what it is when they say you got that dog in you.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, my husband a man. You know I'm a
Hmm.
man. It ain't that. Like, yeah, that's a lady, man. Like we talked about before, right? There's a difference between a lady
Hmm.
and a girl, right? In the
Right.
little dots, right? When Cassandra walked down the street, she don't give off vibes that you could be like, "Hey, what up, ma?" She give
Right.
off vibes that you want to say, "How you doing, man?"
Hmm.
Right? You want to her femininity is so strong because nobody wants to hurt a woman
Hmm.
that acts like a lady. right? You want to open the door for, hey, thank you, have a good day. That's what you want to say to a lady, somebody that carries herself a certain way. So it's a protected mechanism to just be feminine, right? And for a man to just walk with your chest out and you navigate through the world and be confident, that's also people move out the way, man. How you doing, sir? Boom. Just having that, you know what I'm saying? Just having that goal. That's what we need to get back to, is just understanding a lady and a man. You know what I'm talking about? That's all we need.
Yeah, I agree.
You ain't gonna find that in no quick 5-minute clip from some person that said that he red pill but ain't never been in a marriage, ain't never did none of these things, walk through life, but they trying to give you game on how to be a man, right?
Because at the end of the day, true, like when you take it back to the simplicity of things, true masculinity and femininity is a balance, right? You have the man and the woman, and that is only achieved together. There is not one without the other. And the nuclear family, right? So we exist to create a family and forthcome a legacy, right? Especially with the true essence of the balance of femininity and masculinity. And right now, the whole red pill is, honestly, it's not getting, like, it might give you a little bit of game, a little bit of eye opener, but you're not really getting no women like that. Not no woman of substance. It's teaching you how to argue the platform right now is putting out, how to argue with women. No woman want to be argued with
No.
like I'm arguing with another female. Like, I don't want to come home to a man yelling at me and telling me I got to do this, that, and the other. Like, that's not attractive to me. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to love on a man that's yelling at me and I don't feel safe. What, you gonna hit me? Like, I'm not secure. Like, you're being feminine.
Yeah.
That's not masculine at all.
That masculine balance.
It's
that masculine.
Yeah, exactly. Balance. So we got to balance the
agree,
scales. We got to come back to the simplicity of things and really hone in to like what we feed ourselves, right? Because even listening to that seed, right, that of negativity and allowing your mind to harp on it is creating, just creating you to be unbalanced.
So let's play this little game. I'm gonna ask you a question. You're gonna say fact or cap.
Okay.
Stop the cap.
All right. Question 1: modern women only want men for money and status.
That's a hard one.
When I say modern women,
yeah,
I'm
explain
talking
what
about
a modern. Yeah.
I'm talking about the people who don't follow the traditional stuff anymore. They just like, no, I want to be independent. I don't want none of this. The girls that be on these Fresh and Fit podcasts and all this stuff.
So that's fact. You talking about the societal woman that is out here with.
That's straight up like, I'm just, yeah.
That's fact.
All right. Men today are weaker because society tells them to be soft. Fact or cat?
Fact.
That's a fact. I agree.
I agree because and we talked on this subject a little bit about how men express their emotions and how women express their emotions. We express it differently, right? But a lot of women think that men should express it the same way they do.
Come on now.
Right? I'm a girl. I'm going to express it. I'm a woman. I express it differently. Women express with emotions. Men are logical. They express their emotion, and immediately following should be a solution to that grievance, right? So they don't see it the same way. They want a man to be gentle. They want a man to cry.
Yeah.
Honestly, the other day, I thought you was getting a little, your eye was a little watery, and I wasn't, it caught me off guard because I wasn't sure why that would be an emotional response for you. And we'll talk about it another day.
No, we can finish it before you have people thinking I was crying for no reason.
You wasn't crying for no reason, but
I wasn't crying at all. It was...
Yeah, you expressed a conversation that had occurred or a memory or something, and I thought you became teary-eyed, and I was like, I might rationalize why I might become emotional talking about a
But
memory.
let's just clear this up.
But
It
you
didn't
talking
happen.
about a memory,
Like,
it didn't happen. But didn't I stop and say, "Are you getting emotional?" Because if you was getting emotional, I probably would have been like, "Ain't no need for you to be emotional."
Yeah, absolutely. I get what you're saying.
It confused me. Is all I'm
People
saying.
thinking I'm about here tearing up for them.
It confused me. Is all I'm saying. I was just like, "What's going on?"
Right? If a man cheats, it's not the same as when a woman cheats.
It's not, because women and men are inherently different. Men cheat for different reasons and women cheat for different reasons. So it's not the same.
Right, women have more dating options than men in today's world.
Women have more dating options.
That's so easy.
So good dating options is very different.
More dating options.
Yeah. So yes, it probably is easier for me to go on a date for free and get paid for that date.
It ain't a probably. That's a
It's
fact.
not. Yeah. So versus a man. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree.
It's a fact.
Fact.
All right, fresh and fit help more young men than it hurt.
No, that's cap.
Cap.
That's the cap, and not to keep mentioning them or anything like that. It's just like, look at who y'all got spreading that message. Y'all think I want to, like, what? Because you make a certain amount of money? Nah, that ain't enough.
All right, last one. Marriage is no longer beneficial for men.
That's a cap.
Cap.
That's a cap because it feeds into the delusion of, in that wedge of, men don't need women and women don't need men. Right.
Yep. Now, last question. Would you go on one of them podcasts and be talk like and get on a panel and all that stuff?
Not alone.
Nah.
I wouldn't. I honestly, no, not really.
Nah.
I wouldn't. So I'm not gonna set myself up to be arguing with a group of men, right? Because that's just a whole, like, I'm above that at the end of the day. Like, I don't have to prove anything to you, and nothing you say based off whatever I've already watched has even slightly intrigued me. Like, I don't think that you're smarter. I don't think you're, you know, there's no point that you can prove to me based off what I already saw.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Them panels be mad extra.
It's a setup.
Even if I'm on there with you, he been done said the wrong thing. Now I done whooped everybody in the damn studio ass because I ain't got nobody about to be talking.
It's a whole setup. It's a setup at the end of the day. It's the reason why they put a certain female on there. You know, they selling a certain package.
Nah, facts. It's been fun though, talking about the little red pill stuff.
Any closing statements?
Yeah. In closing, let me give a ending statement. Mm-hmm. So, red pill, what started out as something that could help, trying to give a message to men in an era where men voices weren't being heard. Yes, and I think it's still some stuff there that's good. However, the people that went extreme and start giving all these different things out, the wrong type of game, and not keeping it real about what it really is, right? We still need families. We still need the men and women to work together and not fight, right? Exactly. So that's where it comes from. And we trying to give you that game of like, this is what a family business is. Like, this is what family is. Exactly. This is what we need more of, so we can each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? And really love each other. So that's my game. A wise man once said, and so begin our reign, the Trinity. Her and I came. No other man can ever stop what her and I came. Like, follow, subscribe.
That's a good one.